Good morning, Terrell Tigers, and welcome back to another Tiger Live. Today is Friday, September 4th, and we are excited to share today's news with you. To kick things off today, Rizea decided to conduct an interview with Coach Sudbury.
To kick off homecoming, we decided to sit down with the football coach and get to know him a little better. Everybody welcome Coach Sudbury.
So what were you doing before you came to Terrell?
Before I came to Terrell, I was the head coach at a 6A school called Garland Naaman Forest High School. I was the head coach there for 5 years, and so before coming to Terrell, I was coaching at Naaman Forest High School.
So what exactly made you get into coaching?
I've been around, athletics all my life with my dad being a head coach and, playing myself and just being around. So I always had a passion for it. And so, when I was in college, I kind of made a decision pretty quick that I knew I wanted to be in education because I think education is kind of a pillar in my family, as far as, being able to succeed in life is, first you got to get an education. And so coaching was an avenue and teaching was an avenue that I took and that I explored. And so then it was kind of an easy fit for me, and I seemed just to naturally fit and fit my personality.
So what did you see in the Tigers make you want to come to Terrell?
Well, I actually played against Terrell when I was in high school, so I already knew about Terrell. And then, when I was in college, my dad being a coach, coached against Terrell. And then one of the head coaching stops that I made, I used to be the head coach at Baytown Lee High School, and our athletic director was a guy by the name of Tom Ed Gooden, and he used to be the head coach here. And so he used to always tell stories about Terrell, and he talked about the athletes they had, and he talked about the community and how, they'll get behind you when everything's, going well, and how they'll support the students and they'll support athletics. And so I was always intrigued, and so the job opened and I applied and I'm here.
So if you wasn't coaching, what would you be doing?
If I wasn't coaching, I don't know, it'd be something working with kids, as much as kids like you get on my nerves. No, just kidding. But as much as we push you guys to do things, I have a knack, I feel like, and a passion for just kids. I think in today's world, there's so much negativity, and I think my personality is naturally positive. So, I want to try to guide young men and guide students, to try to teach them what life is about, and then sports opens the door for that.
So what are your current goals for the Tigers?
It's just to get better day by day. We talk about that all the time, trying to get better inch by inch and, obviously teaching football, but, just like today is a tutorial day, talking about, being successful in the classroom. And just, my goal, my immediate goal would be for us to experience success and then learn how to handle success, but at the same time to make sure that we stay on a path that we're successful after high school.
Now, what are your goals in the near future for the Tigers?
In the future, I think one of our biggest things that we have to do is increase participation, and then I think that starts at the younger levels. So we've been involved at the middle school, furlough, things like that, and then try to get our athletes to, publicize the program and show the good things that we have going on. And it's not just about wins and losses, and show that there's other things just besides football that you can do while you're in athletics.
And from the short time you've been here, what is your favorite thing about Terrell High?
Ooh, my favorite thing. I would say each day is a unique experience, so it keeps me on my toes. Whether it's dealing with a student athlete or, dealing with just something that's day to day in Terrell and just learning about the community and the history. I think that's probably my favorite thing because no day is the same. Every day is different.
All right, thanks for your time, Coach. That's it.
For sure. Appreciate it.
Students, next week we have our homecoming theme days, so make sure to dress accordingly. Tuesday is Tourist Day. Dress up like you're going on vacation. Wednesday is Character Day. Dress up like one of your favorite characters. Thursday is Decades Day. Dress up in a style from one of your favorite decades. And finally, Friday is Spirits Day. Make sure to dress in red and white. Don't forget we have the homecoming football game at the Memorial Stadium next Friday at 7 p.m. Make sure to attend. In other news, we've decided that since we all enjoy wearing masks so much that each week we would pick out the best one. So here's Jennifer with the mask of the week.
The mask of the week. Alright, before I talk about the mask of the week, I'm going to talk about reasons why you should wear a mask. Reason number 1 is that it reduces the spread of coronavirus. Reason number 2, The mask can protect other people in case you're infected. Reason number 3, if you don't wear a mask, you could spread coronavirus to others even if you don't feel sick. So I just talk about reasons why you should wear a mask. So the mask of the week goes to Nayeli Mesa. And I hope to see more of your incredible masks.
Getting COVID could easily cost you a lot of things. To prevent COVID, wash your hands, keep your mask up, because if you don't, you could be affected and being quarantined for 14 days, and those who have been near you and around you could also be affected. So to prevent this from happening, keep your mask up and always wash your hands.
When you're around other people that are sick in the household, you have to put a mask and some gloves.
Isolation will drive people crazy, especially when they're never at home to begin with.
Now please stand by for a message from your student council members.
Hey guys! The Student Council is planning to hold its first general meeting.
If you are interested in being a member of this organization, join the Student Council on September 16 at 3:30 p.m. in the West Campus Library.
We will be socially distanced and food will be provided. All members and candidates are to attend.
We can't wait to see you there.
Our last and final announcement is a very special one. We sat down with Dr. Warnock to learn more about our superintendent.
Hey Terrell, as you all know, right around January, we received a new superintendent, so we thought we'd bring her in and interview her, ask her a couple of questions to get to know her more. So please welcome Dr. Warnock. Good morning, Dr. Warnock. It's nice to meet you.
It's so nice to meet you.
My name is Jorge. We're going to ask you a couple of questions for this morning. We wanted to get to know you more. The first one we're going to ask you is, what were you doing before you got to Terrell?
Okay. Well, before I came to Terrell, I was the associate superintendent for teaching and learning in Carrollton Farmers Branch ISD. And before that, I'd been a high school principal and a teacher, an assistant principal. So this is my 22nd year in public education. I'm just really excited to be here in Terrell ISD.
That's nice. So what's it like being the superintendent?
I love it. The community has been so welcoming. And I have really enjoyed, since we finally have some students back in the building, to get to, I mean, that's the whole reason why we do what we do, is to get to be around teachers and kids. And so it's been really joyful to get that experience coming back. But, you know, being a superintendent is like being the CEO of a business. You know, we have a over $60 million budget, and you know, so it's a lot of responsibility and a lot of decisions and a lot of the financial side that you don't maybe see a lot in
kids
school.
Don't see that much.
You don't, yeah, kids wouldn't think about that maybe, but the getting to work with the people is my favorite part, and with our board of trustees and getting to just meet people in the community.
Sounds like a very stressful job.
It is. I think stress is kind of what you make of it, you know. So and I think if you love what you do, then the work is fun. So I'm really enjoying getting to be here.
That's nice. So what does a typical day look like to you? The morning routine, the daily routine,
Yeah.
what does that look like?
Well, I have kind of a weekly routine. So on Mondays, I usually spend the morning in the office catching up on, you know, emails from over the weekend. I send every employee a birthday card, so I'll write out cards for that week, or thank you notes, or like congratulations to the Tigers on the victory, those kinds of notes on Mondays. Then I have briefings with our staff on Monday afternoons. So like with our chief of police, with our chief financial officer, with our academics leadership. So those kinds of meetings. So I'm caught up on whatever is happening across all the different departments in the district. And then Tuesdays, we have leadership team meetings where we spend time thinking about the long-term vision for Terrell, and then kind of planning events or things that are happening upcoming. And then Wednesdays, I spend on campuses, so get to be out at schools. And then the same Thursday, have that open for whatever kind of meetings or campus visits. And then Fridays, usually have some time set aside to work in the office to get things ready for the following week.
The following week?
Yeah.
Wow. So it's like you got it all figured out, right?
I don't know about that.
Not about that. So what are your current goals for Terrell, and what about the future goals when you're looking into the future?
Well, we are really talking about a vision for Terrell that's expect more, achieve more. We want to set our expectations the highest that we possibly can, and for our students to be able to achieve whatever it is that they want to achieve. And we're going to do that by focusing on increasing, engaging, and rigorous instruction, by making sure that students feel safe and both social, emotional, and they have a great facility to attend school. We want to be financially stable and transparent about where we are with our finances for the long-term goals of Terrell. And then we want to increase our community and parent support. So those are going to be the strategies that we look at to help build. Really, some of the ways we want to measure that is looking at how our early literacy increases. We know that if we don't have kids reading on grade level by third grade, that's a really difficult road ahead for them. And then we also want to increase our career certifications and make sure that our students, like you, Jorge, getting ready to leave, are ready for whatever life hands at you in terms of college and career.
College and career?
Yeah.
Well, that's nice. So this is your first year being superintendent. Last year was your first year being superintendent,
Yeah,
right?
I started in January,
Started in January.
I'm 8th month here.
8th month, right? We're in the middle of the school year?
Yeah.
So what's the difference back then compared to now that we have all these rules with the whole pandemic happening?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that when I came in January, I was just getting to know people. And then March 13th is where I feel like our world changed so much. It helped me get to know our team, I think, faster, because we just had to be everybody. We got to pull together. We've got to kind of problem solve and figure out what we're going to do here. And instead of really being focused on maybe what's long-term vision, the pandemic forced us to be very just focused on how are we going to get school started? How are we going to make sure that kids are safe? What are our procedures, our protocols? How are we ordering PPE? How's that going to change our budget? We don't have enough computers and hotspots, so how are we going to budget to order all that? So all of that kind of shifted some focus.
So it was a crazy first year, basically. Crazy first year.
I think.
Yeah, I remember all of us being, high school students. When we received the text message saying, we're going to be delayed for a week, and then after that, like 2 weeks, and then you just sent the video out. We're out indefinitely.
Yeah.
We're all like kind of confused as to how we're going to come back.
Yeah.
So with all that happening, what do you do whenever you're given free time?
So free time, I have 4 sons, and so 2 of them just left for college, and so we're enjoying getting to hear their stories. And then I have a 7th grader here at Furlough, and then we have a 16-year-old son as well. And I just really enjoy hanging out with my family. I am an avid reader, so I read a lot. And I think before the pandemic, we would probably like to be going, out to see movies or, that kind of thing. But we've
Normal
just
life.
been Netflix, binging, and I think like probably everybody else, and, reading a good book, taking walks outside just to get out of the house a little bit.
Yeah. It's been a crazy year for all of us.
It has.
Yeah. So why did you decide you wanted to come to Terrell out of all the schools? How'd you end up here?
How'd I end up here? Well, I felt like I was ready to take the next step in my career, and so my family and I, we sat and talked about it, and we actually came and drove to Terrell to look at the community and see if, is this a place we could see ourselves? Would we want to live here? And we just loved it. My husband and I both grew up in a small town, and we're just really excited about the possibility of living in a small town. And Terrell has so much character, and all we have found is just more and more reasons why we love it. Just people being really supportive and welcoming and friendly. So it's been great.
So you said you started out as a teacher, right, earlier?
I did.
A teacher, and then you worked your way up to assistant principal, correct?
Yeah.
And then principal, associate, as a superintendent, now superintendent.
Yes.
So why did you keep going? Why didn't you stop? Why did you become a superintendent?
Well, that is a great question. When I was a teacher, I taught high school. I taught English and history, and I loved it so much. I never thought that I would want to leave the classroom. And then a door opened for me to step into an assistant principal role, and I wasn't sure that's what I really wanted to do. But I loved that too. I loved the impact I got to make one-on-one with kids. And then as a principal, I loved that, the opportunity to kind of make a difference. And, you know, so every step I really enjoyed. And I think as the superintendent, you have a lot of responsibility, but you also have a great opportunity to make an impact in teachers' lives and then ultimately in the lives of students in the community. And you have a broader influence and ability to be a change maker. And I feel very compelled about we should all be doing whatever we can to make the biggest difference in the world. And I just feel blessed that I get to do that as a superintendent.
Oh, well, that's great. No, but thank you for coming.
Oh, thank you for having me.
You know, you probably have a lot of stuff to do today. You have a million things today, 3 million next week.
It will be. It's a lot, but I love it, and I appreciate the opportunity to meet you, and I can't wait to see you in the band.
Thank you. I'd shake your hand, but don't do that right now.
Yeah, no handshaking. Yeah.
6 feet. All right, well, that's it.
Thanks.
Thank you for tuning in today. If there's anything you're interested in seeing on Tiger 5, please let us know. With that being said, I hope you all enjoy your 3-day weekend, and we'll see you in the halls.